dream I know, deep up my feelings for you. Watch.
The former Federal Commissioner for Information and South-South leader, Chief Edwin Clark, asked President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to intervene in Rivers State political crisis. But before we proceed on this news, welcome to Reality Latest, just your home of news and politics. Thank you all so much for joining us on today's news. If this is your first time of watching, please do us a favor to like and subscribe and also share. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell to get notified when we drop our video. You can send in your comments and keep the conversation lively in our comment section. To all our amazing subscribers, thank you all so much for joining us. To all our viewers, feel relaxed, enjoy and stay connected. The former Federal Commission for Information and South-South leader, Chief Edwin Clark, has asked President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to intervene in the Rivers State political crisis where the governor Siminalayi Fubara and his predecessor Nyesom Wike have been engaging in political war. He said that the problem must be nipped in the bud by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The backdrop that Rivers State is very important to the stability of the Niger Delta and the overall nation economy, and if there is any breakdown of law and order, it will not be in the overall interest of all. Wike is asking why the former Rivers State governor and the present minister of Federal Capital Territory Administration Nyesom Wike should be keeping structures when there is a sitting governor. And during his days as governor, he was attacking the concept of godfatherism, describing it as totally unacceptable. The other statesman is also appealing to the president to call Wike, who is his minister, to order and face the work in the quietness which is demanded of him. Just as he said that he should focus on his office and know that the one among a cabinet of 48 persons beside the vice president and the president, adding that the country has enough problem which the present government must sit down to solve. The letter Chief Edwin Clark wrote to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is barely 24 hours when he wrote a letter to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as a matter of urgency adopt former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, eminent person doctrine of necessity as the only way of resolving the political crisis in Ondo State. To further his letter yesterday of 10th December 2023 on the lingering situation in Ondo State, he said he would like to write again as promised to call for the president's urgency attention in dosing the states of deep political divide in Rivers State. Because they will recall that earlier on, he addressed a press conference 4 weeks ago when the political crisis started in Rivers State. He was appealing to the president personally to handle this matter, and he thanked them for the action which they took at that time, including urging the governor, similarly Fubara, and his predecessor in office, Mr. Nyesom Wike, who is today a minister in President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government. So let no one be deceived that the situation is not yet over and things seems to be degenerating day by day. Both the minister and the governor are his sons, and that informs him a particular interest to ensure that peace return as soon as possible to Rivers State. Besides, Rivers State is very important to the stability of the Niger Delta and the overall national economy. Therefore, any breakdown of law and order, there will not be in the overall interest of all. He's very sure that the security and media people could have kept the average of what they are saying happening every day. First and foremost is the fact that Governor of Rivers State has since gone on to apologize to the people of the state over what he considered to have been now the political intrigues, created anxiety and tension in the state when it occurred. That as a former governor, he will not agree with him that this is gentlemanly and commendable of the governor. That he is surprised at the public utterance by the minister Nyesom Wike in other related development do not give an impression that he has moved much forward in resolving this matter. On one occasion, he stated that the impeachment is not a military coup. It's a total outrage when all hands are on deck to consolidate this democracy under the leadership. In fact, if anything at all, the continued press statements and interviews by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory leaves no one in doubt that nothing is okay. In fact, his statement recent interview held on Friday, 24th November 2023, Nyesom Wike charged to one of his group of guests that the governor is ungrateful, concluding that he cannot stand ingrates. He continued by stating how he had helped the governor to become what he had become today, and he threatening him publicly that he would continue to fight if the governor changes the structure which he left in the state. So related to this, the reports that was in the public that members of the Rivers House of Assembly, loyal to the minister, Nyesom Wike, trooped to Abuja to hold a retreat which is obviously intended at enabling them stay at home to strategize and re-strategize with their principal. So he wants to seek on the clarification of Mr. President. Why is Nyesom Wike keeping structures and for what purpose? That he can recall that in his days as governor, he had attacked the concept of godfatherism as totally unacceptable. As a matter of fact, this made him to fall out with his predecessor, Honorable Rotimi Amechi, the immediate past Minister of Transportation, whom we all know was not even directly interfering in the affairs of the state. So what purpose are the structures supposed to serve when there is a governor in that place? There is a question that he owns us and he owns the president. If all governors who, as a matter of right, insist on allowing their favored candidate as successor, insist on controlling them, insist on controlling the state assemblies, insist on controlling the structures which they left behind, what manner of confusion do we have in Nigeria? Now, to further put themselves against the governor and possibly drag the president and his political party, APC, we are now receiving a break news that 27 members of Rivers State House of Assembly, all of whom are PDP, like the governor, decamp to APC. The question is, what is going on? In his state, at a relatively young age of 55 years, his son Nyesom Wike had been a Minister of State, Minister in Federal Ministry of Education before serving as governor for 8 years, and now Minister of Federal Capital Territory. So what does he need a structure for? This is very curious. If strong politicians such as President Bola Tinubu and other former presidents never talked about controlling structures, so how can a minister be threatening a governor not to touch a structure he has left in place? This is a bad precedent, and if other ministers in the government of President Bola Tinubu follow this trend, then it will be total confusion. Another very disturbing development is the interview granted by the minister at another occasion on Thursday, 23rd of November 2023, that made the front page of almost every newspaper to the effect that he has no intention to contest election in 2027. At the age of 96 and half years and having spent 70 years in politics in this country, Chief Edwin Clark said he has never had such an audacious statement being made by the minister, insisting that he has no ambition to contest against his principal, who occupies the highest office of the presidency of Nigeria. This is a minister that has been in office for only 4 months with a very huge portfolio, more than perhaps 80% of his colleagues, and from an opposition party, the PDP. Talking about not interested in contesting against the man who appointed him, this will hardly happen under someone like President Obasanjo, whom we often disagree with, and even former President Goodluck Jonathan, who some accuse as too soft. Chief Edwin Clark, having served in the Federal Executive Council under General Yakubu Gowon, to some of them, the office of the president is highly exalted, and a minister serving in the Federal Executive Council cannot therefore equate as whether he will be contesting against the president or not. So President Bola Tinubu need to call his minister Nyesom Wike to order to face the work in the quietness which is demanded of him. He should focus on his office and note he's just one among a cabinet of 48 persons. Besides, Nigerians have enough problem already, which the government of President Bola Tinubu must sit down to solve. Federal Capital Territory itself is full of challenges all over, and he has more than he can chew, and therefore they should just avoid distraction at this time and focus on the problem of this country. So guys, let me know your thoughts, your contributions, opinions are in the comment section. Once again, thank you all so much for staying tuned with us. We really do appreciate. On this note, we have come to the end of today's segment. Till I come your way next, stay safe guys. Bye.